Excellent. Can I have the Doxly team on the stage, please?
All right. I'm Haley Altman. I'm the founder and CEO of Doxly. We're a legal transaction management company, and I thought we were going to be the ones that traveled the farthest because we came from Indianapolis, so still the Midwest, but I so we got beat there. So no huge announcements, but we are we focus on helping attorneys get deals done. So I was a practicing attorney for over 10 years. I actually had the pleasure of working at Wilson Sonsini in their Palo Alto office. Yes, I got to do a lot of venture capital and M&A work with a lot of wonderful companies in the biotech and tech spaces. Moved back to the Midwest at Ice Miller, where I grew my practice, became partner, and then became one of the women of big law that decided to leave and try something even more challenging in terms of being a legal tech founder. So my life as a corporate attorney, it was chaotic. You're working on so many different deals, and every deal is a complex set of documents that need to be drafted, negotiated, and it's all done in what's supposed to be a very well-orchestrated transaction. So we would be focusing on this roadmap, this closing checklist that was going to guide us through this transaction. But there's so many versions of documents flying back and forth, different diligence that we're working on, all the task lists, the phone calls, and then as we get to closing, a very chaotic closing process, tracking down every signature page. Clients that were usually all over the place. I had one deal almost not closed because a board member was in Bermuda and we couldn't get his signature page back. And you always run into these different things. So then I also looked at kind of the legal industry as a whole and what's changing in terms of how we practice and what our clients expect in terms of timeliness, efficiency, and how the move, especially in transactions, is starting to gear towards a little bit more of the alternative fee arrangements or budget billing. And how do we respond to that? And how do we provide people more analytics, more visibility into what's going on in the transaction process? We do so much work as we move through these transactions, and there is a lack of showing how we move to closing. And then there's just other issues around security risks and associated attrition that you see. So what we did was we built Doxly. Doxly is a transaction management platform. We wanted to create a secure portal where you can negotiate the entire transaction. So we look at things from an end-to-end perspective. We built a data room into the system so that we could either integrate with different data rooms to kind of pull everything together. We want to help you get started on the deal. We want to help you keep track of every document as it moves through the process, work with your team, collaborate with other parties on the transaction, and we totally revamped the way signatures are done. At DocuSign, they always talk about how they remove the print button from the signer's experience, and we did the same thing from attorneys. No more sitting at the scanner in the middle of the night trying to scan another signature packet that has to go out and has to get signed. We built everything in our system so that you can do all of it within this secure portal to get this done. And then we combined the analytics with it. So what I want to do now is kind of give you a glimpse into Doxly. So let's see. All right, so this is the Doxly platform. So what we wanted to do, and what's really important to us, is to work with attorneys in a way that they're used to. So we took everyone's closing checklist, and when we launched with our firm, our customer success team is really focused on what the business objectives are of the law firm. How can we make you successful with the platform? So we build all of your closing checklists into the Doxly platform, but we make them actionable. So you get that key insight and information into what's going on. So you have a familiar format. This is a venture capital style transaction. We're going to give you the entire roadmap to the deal, all the documents that need to be drafted, all the tasks that need to be completed, and in an environment where everyone can work together to get things done. So you'll see all of the documents that are in there. Everything is drag and drop to change order. Everything is edit in place for text. But then what we're going to do is give you more information. So you can see where everything is, what state it's in the transaction process. Have you started something? Is the document in negotiation? Is an item final? And when we get to the executed part, we're also going to give you insight into whose court is the ball in, who has the responsibility for that next turn. So you know what's your responsibility or your team's responsibility to move forward. And then when we dive in on any item on the checklist, what we're going to do is give you more information. We built Doxly to be collaborative. We built value so that you could use it internally with your team and still see value, but we also wanted to give you the ability to add your clients in, opposing counsel. So we built privacy restrictions so you can control who has access down to the document level. Then we also wanted to bring in that task management, those project management workflow tools, so you can work with an entire team. So who's doing the tax review, who's doing the litigation review, environmental, all of those key pieces that need to come together to get a transaction across the finish line. So we're going to give you the insight into who's doing what and where you are in that process, and we give you the ability to communicate around every single document. What are the open issues? So we have internal team chats and collaborative kind of issues list commentary. But what we really focused on really kind of revamping is this closing process. So you'll see kind of the end result. We're helping you track every single signature page throughout the entire transaction process, who needs to sign, what capacity they're actually signing the documents in, and where they are in the process. So we integrate fully with DocuSign, and we can help track the signatures electronically, or if they need to be hand signed, we track them as well. We built trackers into every document, so I could upload 100 pages, and if one signature was missing, the system will tell you which page, which person still needs to be signed. But to do this, we're actually creating every signature block and every signature page. So we're creating all of them within the system and then packaging them and sending them out. And because we're helping you create the signature pages and put them all together, we can actually create the execution copies within the system. So we can execute every version of the document, taking all of the documents, all of the signature pages, putting them together without ever printing or leaving the platform. And what that means is at the end of the transaction, we can actually deliver a closing book at closing. So all of those documents in one place. We give you the ability to create multiple closing books because you may have multiple closings in a venture capital transaction or different document sets that you need to give to different people. So we do that and we help you do it in a couple of clicks, and then we build reporting and analytics throughout it. So you can see how many deals you're doing, how many different types, how team members are doing things. We want to give you the information in your deal and make it actionable for you. So that is Doxly.